Somebody kicked in the emergency exit and started throwing gas grenades and started shooting something people at random. It took me a second to realize what was actually going on. And as people were running away, I hit the ground so I wouldn't be hit.
Let's go straight to the scene there in Aurora. Joining me, CNN national correspondent at the shooting scene, Ed Lavandera. Ed, let's take it from the top. What happened?
Well, at 4 movie theaters screening the premiere of the Batman movie last night at the Cineplex here in Aurora. So it was every one of the theaters was filled. The theaters were just 4:40 in the morning. The movie hadn't been playing for 10 or 15 minutes, we're told by witnesses. Then all of a sudden, they saw the 24-year-old suspect, James Holmes, emerge from the exit door, which was just to the right of the movie screen, throw up 2 canisters, and they started hearing a little pop.
Okay, Ed Lavandera, I'm having a really hard time hearing you. Let me get you to start over. Sorry about that. We're having a really hard time with your satellite. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I'm very windy here today, so I apologize. The theaters were packed with people. There were 4 movie theaters screening the movie of the Batman premiere last night, and the movie was just about 10 or 15 minutes into it, is from what we've been told by witnesses, when they saw the exit door just to the right of the movie screen in theater number 9 open up, and the man came in, threw up 2 canisters, and they heard the explosions, and they could the tear gas or some sort of irritant that was in those canisters, and then the shooting erupted. Now, depending on which witness you talk to, how long that lasted has been a very confusing point for many of the witnesses who experienced this, and quite understandably, given what they went through. But at some point, the gunfire stopped, and one witness told me that the shooter just kind of nonchalantly stopped and was walking around, and then went back outside, and within a couple of minutes, he was taken into custody without an incident with the police officers that had descended on the scene.
I understand when police approached him, he says, "I am the Joker."
Absolutely bizarre. As one law enforcement source told me today, as we tried to kind of piece together motives or what might be behind all of this, or the mindset of this person, one source just stopped me in my tracks and said, "Look, you're trying to get me to explain the mind of a deranged killer." So obviously law enforcement is grappling with that today, but at some level, this suspect is talking with law enforcement sources. He went on to tell them about the booby trap that was set up at his apartment, and that is what, as we speak, law enforcement is dealing with. They haven't even been able to get into his apartment, which is not too far from this movie theater.
Question, Ed Lavandera joining us there at the scene of the shooting. Why are the bodies still in the movie theater right now where they fell?
Well, from what the police chief here in Aurora told us a while ago, they still have, it is a gruesome crime scene inside that theater, that they have ballistics testing and other testing and evidence gathering that they want to do to be able to do all that. You could tell that it was a sensitive situation, that they're trying to expedite that as quickly as possible and get these bodies out of that theater and turned over to family members so they can carry on with funeral arrangements and that sort of thing. But it has taken a great...
Making a real difference as a counselor.